share a story because it was born from your heart during COVID. This is just a story that people need to know to be encouraged today, because we often find that God gives us a little bit of a nudge in the right direction, and a thought comes to mind and you kind of ignore the thought. You didn't. And look what happened. Please tell us your story.
Absolutely. Thank you, Gilbert. Yeah, it's just an absolutely insane story. I want to kind of say it's a testimonial. And as they say, your testimonials are driven from your tests, or let your tests be your testimonial. And I think one of the biggest tests that we all had was just after the pandemic, the lockdown. And I think we're all allergic to speak about that. I think we're all over it. But
We think so, yes, but some of us are still struggling to get through.
absolutely. But it definitely was just that, I want to say, that shake up. And that's where Re.Bag.Re.Use was born. And I always joke, it's my 4-year-old toddler. And it came from that time where a lot of people wanted to borrow money, and I just felt desperately, um, I want to say, like, uh, I felt like my hands were tied. Like, what can I do? I can't just hand out money as much as I would love to. That's just not realistic in any world. And I also don't believe in just doing handouts for the sake of it, because, first of all, there's limited resources. But secondly, I think the minute you just start giving out handouts, you are taking away from somebody's dignity. As I was struggling with this, because obviously I'd love to help as many people as I can. I've always been crocheting and I've always been knitting. And I just had this conversation. I have many conversations with God on a daily basis. And one of them was like, I don't know how I can try and make a difference. I've got all these people who want to borrow money. How and where do I start? And as I was busy crocheting and knitting, it's just as if as you were saying earlier, just you get this enlightenment. I don't know, this um, knowledge, or something spoke to me. We all know what that something is. That, you know what, you haven't seen people crocheting with plastic for quite a while. I remember being a little girl growing up in Pretoria and seeing the housekeepers during their tea times and lunch times making the most beautiful, beautiful mats and crochet work from empty shopping bags. And I thought, I hadn't seen that in a while. You know what, I'm going to experiment. So while I'm like, let me just, I'll come up with a solution. I love coming up with creative things. Let me just experiment with plastic. So I started experimenting with a plastic bag, and it was an absolute disaster. The first one really didn't work out well. And then at the same time, in a synchronicity, and as people cross your path, who's meant to cross your path to help you on your journey, I had a friend in Hout Bay Harbor who asked me whether I would come and teach a group of ladies how to crochet. And with the absolute greatest of pleasure, I did that. And we experimented with different materials. I showed them how to cut t-shirts, because normally people could crochet with wool. Showed them how to cut t-shirts and crochet with that. And during all of this time, I was still experimenting with my plastic bag, although I wanted to give up after plastic bag number one. Something just said, continue. And I started experimenting with a bread bag. And I still remember it so clearly, taking a little rectangle that I'd crocheted from a bread bag to the next crocheting session, and saying, just look at how fun this is. It was just a random piece. And I said, is there somebody that can help me to cut the plastic? Because it's incredibly frustrating while you're busy crocheting to have to stop, get a bag, clean it out, cut it, and then only be doing a little bit more. And Gilma, I've blinked my eyes, and we are now 4.5 years later, where I'm standing speaking to the ladies as a little bit of a joke with these plastic bags, asking who can help me to cut, transport to here and now today of what we have grown into with Re.Bag.Re.Use. We have 21 households who are involved in some way in this initiative. There's 6 people who cut the plastic. There's 15 ladies who are involved in different ways to crochet the beautiful products that we make. There's 4 ladies up in Gauteng, and it is just going from strength to strength. And I mean, who would ever have thought that a ugly bread bag, which is really it's thin and ugly, could, I mean, I don't know if you can see that. That is a little wallet.
I'm so glad
That
you're
was
showing
made.
off a few things because people are probably going to say, "Oh, how is that possible?"
Absolutely. So I hope I've actually, here's let me see if I can bring that. Oh, you know what? I'm going to actually ask people to go through to our website
Mm.
and all of our social media platforms where we have all of our different products that we make. So we've mainly we use plastic bags, and we're incredibly grateful to Blue Ribbon, who do sponsor us in various ways of being available at markets. I'll chat to you about that in a second. Dropping off lots of bread bags for us to repurpose, making videos for us. But we've also experimented with other materials, so any soft plastic, so shopping bags, courier bags, even. But now I'm mindful to say this because everybody who has decluttered in Cape Town has found us. We make the most beautiful bags. I don't know if you can see that. From
What is that made of?
VHS. So that's made from a VHS old cassette tape.
Oh my
And we also
word.
use audio cassette tapes. So we have enough stock of VHS. Um, but I just wanted to show that we have these beautiful bags available. And over and above, when we make a sale, paying a cutter and a crocheter, a percentage also gets donated to the neighborhood old age home. They were one of the very first people who started saving their bread bags for us. And I have a very soft spot for the wisdom that we can tap into from our older generation. So they get a percentage of every sale, as well as the SPCA. Just spreading the love of this initiative and a cleaner environment as far as possible.
I am so excited because some of your bags, I mean, and you also said put it out there and ask us to be involved in what we think about the bags and things. I think I still also wrote a little bit of a info thing like so many other people to help you guys to change and to customize almost. Now you are using different bags. How many bags have you actually pulled off the streets, as to say, with your initiative?
So I did a little calculation about 2 months ago. I need to actually recalculate it again. But globally speaking, over the last 4.5 years, we have saved just over a ton's worth of empty bread bags. So if you think how thin
Sure.
and flimsy a bread bag is, and to put that into context, because a ton can sound like, a ton, what is that? It's equivalent to 8 baby elephants worth of weight of plastic that's not gone to the environment, that's not landing in landfill, that's creating a little bit of extra pocket money for these ladies because they're all either cleaners or carers. Some don't have work. Um, and just making sure that we look after our community as well as the environment, keeping all of that ugly plastic into something which is really beautiful. And I actually want to really encourage people who are in Cape Town. We are going to be we at a number of markets this December, just to come past, have a look, and just feel how incredibly strong these bags are. And they really are very durable. As I said, we started 4.5 years ago. I'm still using my bags. At least it will last for 4.5 years and still counting to see how long it will last. So at least for the last 4 years, this plastic hasn't landed up in places it shouldn't.
So we're going to, what I also want to celebrate is that when we stick to God's plan, and He had this whole plan worked out for you 4 years ago. He He almost bless you not only with growth so that more people can be helped, but international accolades. My word, you guys have had so many, and we just need to encourage other people with sharing your awards that you won, because it all comes goes back to God and to all the ladies and everybody. It's a team effort, but please share with us how that came about.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I think the main, no, it's lovely to get awards. Um, and for me, the awards, it's it's that nod that we onto something here. We're doing the right thing. We're going in the right direction. Because with any entrepreneur, with any new entity, I mean, there's lots of ups and downs, and you kind of think sometimes, what on earth am I, what have I gotten myself into when I look at piles and piles of plastic? No one sees the behind the scenes with all the plastic that we need to deal with. We're happy to show the really beautiful products to the world out there. Um, but having that, you know what, you're onto something here. And I am incredibly, incredibly grateful for the international recognition that we have received. We've also received lovely local recognition as well. So with the most recent being with the Ecologic Awards, we achieved a silver in the fashion and beauty category, which I'm so grateful for. And it's also just showing the ladies, you know what, we're onto something really good here. We also received the bronze from the South African Plastics Recycling Organization recently. Earlier this year, I picked up an award in Mombasa at the Sabre Awards. So again, I'm mindful to like list all of these awards, which I'm incredibly grateful for. But I also think, you know what, the more you're grateful for things and the more you celebrate it, the more things cross your path to celebrate. So, and I'm incredibly proud of what the team has achieved to date with all of these initiatives and all the projects that we are involved with.
Let's look at designs. You know, how do you find all these interesting designs? And you keep up with the trend, eh?
I must admit, I've had to tap into my inner Gen, my inner, what's it, the Gen Zs, to keep up with the social media. Um, it's, you know what, as as another hobby that I have, I run. I run a lot, and during these runs, I listen to a lot of books. I sometimes don't listen to anything, and it's during these runs very often as well that I have. And in the mornings, I also have meditation, prayer time, and it's during these where I have lots of conversations and talks, and it is just keeping talks with God and to have these conversations, which is absolutely amazing. And it's also, you know what's so interesting? The more you start speaking and the right people crossing your path and the conversations that you have, and you start soundboarding on different topics and products and things. I mean, if I think where we were 4 years ago and the bags we made, I love them. I still do. I still absolutely love them. And you make a bag and you think, there's no ways that we can improve on this bag. Then you have a few more conversations with people, and then somebody said to me, what about leather handles? So then we made, again, I don't know if you can see that, we started adding leather handles. Then somebody says, you know what about rope handles? So we've got bags with rope handles. And it's just seeing what is out there. And by no means have I ever and will ever say that I'm big into fashion, because that that wouldn't be the truth. But I'm just fortunate that I come across the right articles, I come across the right conversations, and it's as you were saying, God placing these people on your path.
Divine partnerships, you
Abs-
see.
uh, exactly. So it's and I think also part of all of this and the divine intervention is, and you mentioned earlier, the research that we do. I think even though we're only 4 years old, my other hat that I wear during the week, um, we do a lot of research, and I want to be in that space where research becomes normalized in businesses. And if I can normalize it from a Re.Bag.Re.Use point of view as well, listening to what our stakeholders have to say about us, what are their perceptions, what would help to grow this even further, even better, product development. So I think part of all of that is also to see, making sure that we make something that is functional, that is useful, that people would love to show the world that they're wearing something proudly South African, that they can have a piece of magic from the creative ladies that I'm working with.
Where can people find you? Because there's lots of markets, lots of ideas, and a lot of people visiting South Africa that would like to take something back that's authentic South African.
Absolutely. So we are online, Re.Bag.Re.Use.com. We have an online store, and we can courier anywhere. Then we are at a couple of markets as well. And I'd love to, this weekend specifically, we are all over the place. And I really, really would love to invite everyone just to come and have a look. So tomorrow we are at Coyote at the Castle for for that market. We will also be at the Kalk Bay Village Market tomorrow and Sunday. And next weekend, so the next couple of weekends, we will be at Kalk Bay Village Market and the Hout Bay Village Market. And we have a range from bags, beach bags, peg bags, wonderful little stocking fillers. As I said, we've got these little sweet little wallets um, that can easily tuck into a suitcase. There's space. It's really small. So if you need to take gifts back to overseas and friends and family, we've also got pot plant container holders. I don't know if you can see, you can put a pot plant into that just to zhuzh up a pot plant even more. And with it leading up to Christmas, there's a lot of selection, a lot of different options, and you can mix and match. And yeah, I just actually, I want everybody just to come and have a look. I just want
And to
everybody to
invest,
see,
every time you
yeah,
buy, you invest in the community.
absolutely. Investing in that creativity, and a cleaner environment as well.
I love what you guys do. I firmly believe that there are people out there that also might have such a wonderful initiative in their head spinning around and they're not quite sure what to do with it. What would your word of encouragement be?
You know what? If you don't try, you won't know. So from a meaningless little bread bag, there's just this beautiful, beautiful initiative that has grown and is growing. And even if you think your idea is, if you have that desire in your heart, I think one of the key things I read somewhere, or that sticks to me, if God has inspired that thought in your heart, you are meant to go with it. So don't fight it, go with it. And if you don't try, you won't know. And you wouldn't have had that thought if it wasn't meant to cross your path. So spend a little bit of time investing it. Let's say that initiative that you have in your mind might not be as perfect as you want it to be. Investing your time, helping to grow it, you might find something even better during that time of growing it further. So definitely just go ahead and do it. I don't want to sound like a slogan, but
Thank you so much for
but
chatting to us. It's so inspiring, and may God bless you and the ladies. And yes, I still would love to meet them. We've been trying for quite a while now, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
absolutely. Thank you, Vilma. I really appreciate you and
Have a
everyone.
blessed day and love to all those amazing women that makes this such a wonderful community project. And thank you
Thank
for
you. Thank
listening
you.
to God for this. Have a lovely day.